Gather around, history buffs and myth enthusiasts. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most iconic, epic, and utterly dramatic tales ever told, the Trojan War. Prepare yourselves, because this isn't just a story, it's a saga of love, betrayal, honor, and destiny that shaped the very foundations of Western civilization. So grab a snack, get comfy, and let's journey back to a time when gods walked among mortals and heroes carved their legends into stone. Our tale begins not with a clash of swords, but with a beauty contest, one that would literally shake the world. Picture this. 3 goddesses, Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite, vying for a golden apple inscribed to the fairest. Who gets to judge this divine dilemma? A mortal prince named Paris of Troy. Hera promised him power, Athena offered wisdom and victory, but Aphrodite, she offered him the most beautiful woman in the world, Helen. There was just one tiny problem. Helen was already married to Menelaus, king of Sparta. Paris, swayed by Aphrodite's irresistible offer, declared her the fairest. And just like that, the seeds of war were sown. Helen, either willingly or unwillingly, sailed with Paris back to Troy, leaving a furious Menelaus and his brother, Agamemnon, the powerful king of Mycenae, absolutely seething. This wasn't just an insult, it was an act of war, a direct challenge to Greek honor. And so the greatest armada in ancient history began to assemble. Thousands of ships carrying the finest warriors from all corners of Greece set sail for Troy. Leading them were legendary figures whose names still echo through time. There was the cunning Odysseus, king of Ithaca, known for his sharp mind and even sharper tongue. Then there was Ajax, a towering brute of a man, second only in strength to one other, Achilles. Ah, Achilles. The demigod, nearly invulnerable, swift as the wind, and destined for either a long, inglorious life or a short, glorious death. His mother Thetis dipped him in the river Styx, making him impervious to harm everywhere but his heel. These were the men sailing to reclaim Helen and avenge Greek honor. On the Trojan side, the mighty walls of their city stood tall and proud, defended by a formidable army led by the noble and valiant Prince Hector, Paris's older brother. Hector was Troy's shield, its hope, and its most respected warrior. Alongside him stood Aeneas, a destined hero himself, and many brave Trojans ready to defend their homeland to the last breath. The stage was set for a clash of titans, a 10-year siege that would test the limits of human endurance, valor, and sacrifice. The war raged for years, a brutal stalemate punctuated by moments of breathtaking heroism and heart-wrenching tragedy. We saw individual duels like the epic clash between Paris and Menelaus, interrupted by divine intervention. We witnessed countless skirmishes, the walls of Troy holding firm against wave after wave of Greek assaults. The gods themselves often meddled, taking sides, altering the course of battles with a whisper or a nudge. But the war's most iconic moments often centered around Achilles. After a dispute with Agamemnon, Achilles withdrew from battle, leaving the Greeks vulnerable. It wasn't until his beloved companion Patroclus donned Achilles' armor and was tragically slain by Hector that Achilles returned to the fray, a whirlwind of grief and vengeance. His rage was legendary, and his duel with Hector outside the Scaean gates of Troy remains one of the most poignant and brutal confrontations in literature. Achilles, fueled by sorrow and fury, killed Hector, defiling his body by dragging it behind his chariot. This act, while showing Achilles' pain, also highlighted the brutalizing nature of war and disrespect for a fallen hero. Yet in a moment of profound humanity, Achilles later returned Hector's body to his grieving father, King Priam, a testament to the complex emotions swirling beneath the surface of the epic. Finally, Achilles falls with an arrow on his heel shoot by Paris. Even after Hector's fall, Troy remained unconquered, its walls seemingly impenetrable. The Greeks were growing weary, morale was low, and the war seemed destined to drag on forever. This is where the cunning mind of Odysseus truly shone. He conceived a plan so audacious, so brilliant, that it could only be described as legendary: the Trojan horse. The Greeks pretended to abandon their siege, sailing away, but left behind a colossal wooden horse as an apparent offering to Athena. Inside, carefully hidden, were Odysseus and a hand-picked contingent of elite Greek warriors. Despite the warnings of the priest Laocoon, beware of Greeks bearing gifts, and the prophetess Cassandra, who was cursed to foresee the future but never be believed, the Trojans, overjoyed at the apparent end of the war, dragged the magnificent horse into their city. That night, as Troy celebrated its supposed victory, the Greek warriors emerged from the horse, opened the city gates, and signaled the waiting Greek fleet to return. The once impenetrable city was breached from within. What followed was a night of unimaginable carnage as Troy fell, its palaces burned, and its people were either slaughtered or enslaved. The great city was utterly destroyed, ending a decade of war in a single, devastating night. So, what does this ancient epic, this grand tale of gods and mortals, truly mean for us today? The Trojan War, beyond its thrilling narrative, serves as a powerful exploration of universal themes that resonate across millennia. It's a profound look at the destructive nature of unchecked pride and vengeance. Helen's abduction ignited the war, but it was the pride of Menelaus and Agamemnon that fueled a decade of bloodshed. It speaks to the brutal realities and tragic consequences of conflict, reminding us that even in victory, there is immense loss and suffering for all sides. The fall of Troy, a magnificent city, stands as a stark warning about hubris and the dangers of ignoring wise counsel. But it's not just about destruction, it's also a celebration of human spirit, courage, and resilience. We see the unwavering loyalty of Patroclus, the noble sacrifice of Hector defending his home, the cunning ingenuity of Odysseus, and the fierce determination of Achilles. These heroes, flawed though they were, embodied virtues and vices that make them incredibly human and relatable. The myth also delves into the complex interplay between fate and free will. Were the characters merely puppets in the hands of meddling gods, or did their choices, their passions, their flaws ultimately shape their destinies? The Trojan War reminds us that even in the face of insurmountable odds and divine intervention, human decisions, good or bad, have profound and lasting consequences. It's a story that continues to challenge us to consider the costs of our actions, the value of wisdom over raw power, and the enduring quest for honor and meaning in a chaotic world. It's a testament to the power of storytelling itself, how these narratives from millennia ago still captivate, instruct, and inspire us to reflect on our own human experience. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey through the Trojan War. If you enjoyed this dive into ancient myth, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more epic tales, and let me know in the comments which ancient story you'd like to explore next. Your support means the world.